like I work in a big Boston hospital. If you're going from a big Boston hospital to a small health center in a rural area, you for sure would be going backwards. But you should be okay with that because, you know, we all have to know the basics, how to take a blood pressure and everything like that.
Well, you see, like some places have auto cuffs, and then some people, you know, there's people that still do it by the old-fashioned way, you know.
Yeah, and you should always remember how to do it the old-fashioned way because sometimes machines break and you have to go back to the old-fashioned way.
And that's what people don't realize, that all training should start with the earliest way something was done, and then you quickly move beyond that based on the technology available, but everybody should have that core knowledge of how everything started, no matter what their profession, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, when I was a photographer, the first thing you learn how to do as a photographer is how to balance light and dark and process your film and very basic stuff that you don't really need to know, especially now. You know, you don't really need to know it to make a good picture, but that's how your education starts.
Well, I think that part of the whole story is that you went from almost being aloof and distant, or whatever you want to call it, to caring about people. I mean, because you were almost, you know, I don't know what the proper euphemism is, but you were almost a bum.
Boy.
You would just drift around, and you were happy-go-lucky and taking your pictures and going to Wawa and getting 2 slices of ham and a piece of bread and just drifting through the world like a leaf on the wind. And
maybe it seems like that. It may have seemed like that. I don't seem all that different to me. Maybe it seems on the outside that I'm different, but on the inside I don't feel all that different.
When you go to the store, do you order more than 25 cents worth of meat?
Oh, my God. Will I ever live that down?
No, that's why those things happen. That's why those things happen.
I think it's hilarious, though, that Sue called it, what did she call it, my sandwich kit? Yeah.
We had a friend that worked at a store that sells stuff, and we had, because that's what stores do. Stupid statement. We had a friend that worked at a store, and Johanna would come in the store, and we'd come in and you buy lunch meat, you buy sandwiches, whatever. Johanna would order a sandwich kit, as the other friend called it. Where she'd go and like, yeah, I'd like 2 slices of ham, a slice of cheese.
It wasn't 2 slices.
A slice of cheese. I would like half of a Kaiser roll and some complimentary mustard and mayonnaise, please.
I was a little challenged financially at the time, in my defense.
You were a free spirit, as it were, and I know that you were under stress. We were all under our different stresses, but you know, you always when I saw you in passing, you're always going about your thing, and a lot of people didn't have things that they were going about. You know, you always seemed like you were heading somewhere, and, you know, we didn't know it was going to buy 2 slices of bologna or whatever, but or where it was, or what other things you were doing. But it seems like that the thing that you were always really good at caring about other people, even though no one would spin the wheel and guess that.
Yes, it was very behind the scenes. I keep that on the down low.
Well, and that's, I found that the people that really do care do kind of keep it on the down low versus the other ones that put bumper stickers all across their car with every cause they have on them, and they wear everything right out in the open because they want some kind of constant validation or something.
Yeah, I don't know why people do that. I think that I think that the real fact is I'm a private person, and when I do express myself for real and get emotional or whatever, I do it with people that I know very well. I don't just put it out there with anybody. And I don't know what that comes from. Maybe I don't know. I don't know why that is, but I've always been that way.
Well, I think that most of the people that we know in common and everything, I think mostly everybody's kind of that way. What do you think? What abilities do you think make you good at your job?
I think that I do have an ability to assess people and situations quickly, which is important. And I think that despite the fact that you say I'm cold, I think that I am very empathetic. I am empathetic and compassionate. At the same time, I'm the kind of nurse who will sit there and listen to you, hold your hand when you need your hand to be held, but I'm not going to curl up in your hospital bed with you and cry with you. I'm going to make sure you're well taken care of.
And some people would say that in that gap is coldness. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe.
Some people would say in that gap is coldness because some people put empathy above results. And all I'm saying is you put results above empathy.
Yeah, I'm going to get the job done, and if that means holding your hand and listening to you, then I'll do that. But if it means doing something else that needs to get done right away, I'm going to do that.
Right. If hugs will fix you, you'll hug. But hugs don't fix people.
Right. Right.
You're there to.
They do. It depends on what they're dealing with, but a lot of times I'm more of a get her done kind of person. We'll get the job done.
Well, and
let's fix it. Let's fix the problem.
Right.
What do we have to do?
Yeah. But we get too wrapped up in that. I'm not saying that everybody has to be Dr. House. But we get too wrapped up in empathy versus results, and we do that in other aspects on social media, which I always go off into a tirade on, with people with prayers and shares, I call it.
I would rather that the patient not know that I was behind the scenes taking care of their issue and making sure it got fixed. I'd rather they didn't know it and that it happened anyway than have them give me all kinds of accolades for being right there, sitting at their bedside and crying and yet not really accomplishing anything. Not that sometimes that does accomplish something. Sometimes that's just what the person needs. But I'm just saying, if I have a choice between going and really taking care of the problem behind the scenes and just sitting there and being empathetic, I'll probably be the person who's going to take care of the problem.
Right. With no need for recognition, no need for anything, that classic Lone Ranger, Ohio Silver in the moonlight, while the town kicks and everything's better. But because I just think that I don't care if somebody knows that I helped them. I don't care about that.
Right. Exactly.
And if that anonymity, what I hope that anonymity does, because when you want somebody to acknowledge you, it's demanding a payment of sorts. But what I've always felt that the anonymity does is that inside their values and their belief system and everything, it works itself around to helping them renew faith in whatever they want, in whatever they believe in.
Yeah.
So,
and the other thing is, some of us have, you work with what your strengths are. And it is not, I have worked with nurses who are really good at immediately, you know how some people have that kind of personality where they, right away people want to talk to them and tell them their problems.
right.
And I've never been that personality. That's never been me. People don't just come up to me and start talking to me about their issues or their personal. That just doesn't happen.
No, you don't want to get stabbed with a pin.
Stop it. But I do work with nurses who are like that, and that's their strength, and they have to go with that, and that's what they have to use to strengthen their nursing practice. And they should use that. They should use it for good. And, my friends who are like that, they do use it for good. They'll immediately make people feel at ease. They don't have to work at that. And, people will talk to them about it. All of a sudden, like I have one friend who she'll have a 5-second conversation with somebody and she'll come back with their entire life story. And I'll be like,
right.
How do you know that? How did you get all that? But I'm the one who's going to go and, do your paperwork. I'll find out what the issue is, and then I'll go figure out what I need to do to get you sorted out. While my friend Robin is talking to you and making you feel comfortable. So you go with your strengths.
Right. She and you need both people. You need people that can talk and bond and everything, and you need somebody that's willing to chokehold the truth out of a family member.
Yeah. Right. You do need. It takes all kinds. It takes all kinds, and but hopefully I'm. Never mind. I certainly hope that people don't, and I think they don't. I think that my patients do not come back with the impression that I am distant or cold. I think that that's not who I present to them, because I really do take responsibility for their well-being.
Oh, you can be those things and still care. It's not uncaring. It's when you put efficiency above empathy. That's where it comes into play.
Mm.
And I have
balance.
people.
It's a balance.
It's a balance. And I've had people that I've worked with that people said, "Oh my God, you were cold, blah 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 blah." And then when you talk to the people, they say, "He was the only person that helped us. He was the only person." They don't say that he hugged us and he rubbed our feet. They say he was the only one who helped us. He was the only one that worked for us.
Right.
And there's a point where we want empathy, and there's a point where we want efficiency. And as you get old, I guess in the older you want different things. But we're getting towards the end of our time, and I just want to ask you.
Oh, thank God.
What would you? Oh no, we're doing after show. We're going to get back to the sandwiches and the lunch meat. But what would you like to tell the public about your job and how they can help your profession interact with them better, or what they can do?
I don't know if there's anything I can tell people. I mean, I think that by and large, most people that I deal with are respectful and appreciative, and I think that most people are not naive to the fact that the healthcare in this country is
a mess.
It's a mess. Yes, it is a mess, and I think most people are aware of that, and they don't. I really think that when you're dealing with people who are, especially people who have been dealing with healthcare issues for a long time, I think they know, and I don't think there's anything I can tell those people that they don't already know about the medical profession. I think people are really very understanding, respectful,